And the title says it all. Itty bitty stone on a Grimsmo Norseman. Okay, who's here? Who's first? Who was the first person? Wyatt. I don't know who just logged in, but Wyatt beat you to it. Darren L. Bob Schneider. I'm bored, but at work. Jeremy. Jeremy, how have you been? I have not seen you on here for a while. What's up, Cody? I'm sharpening this. Not trying to brag, guys. Yeah, I am. I'm fucking bragging. I'm getting good at this. But you guys are having a hard time seeing me. I think I got crap on the lens. See if I got a somewhat decent rag. What's up, Big E? Nothing. I'm trying to... Oh my god. So, it's got fingerprints on it, but I did, check this out, I did a really light orange peel on that after I did green anno and then bronzed it. What was that? What do you guys, what do we, came in and back in an earlier stream and didn't get to the question, what do you think M4? I like M4, it's pretty good. That pocket clip, right? Light orange peel with the green. I want a Norseman too, but here's the thing. You guys send them to me to sharpen, and I get them out of my system, and I never have to buy one because I carried this for a couple days before I ever did the anno on it. This guys, this is why I charge extra for specific knives, Tontos and recurves. And this happens to be both. It's a recurve Tonto. You know, the Rask has some issues with it. M4 is one that you can take all the way up to like 10,000 grit. So M4 handles a very fine edge very well. I forget what knife I had that came. Oh, the North Arm Skaha reminds me so much of a Rask that I don't think I would get a Rask. I would just get a Skaha. And as a matter of fact, I don't have to because my friend Dwayne, customer Dwayne, that you guys see log in, and we harass each other, call each other names and shit like that. He and I have fostered kind of a friendship. I just got off the phone with him actually. Well, M4, you can do it, but it's it just depends on the person. I find that it will hold a polished edge really well in M4, and I've got a knife in M4 I've got to do a video about. Scott is insanely light, like scary light. I forget. Yeah, you will. You know what else is scary light and you forget you're carrying? This one. My gents. I sometimes forget it's in my pocket. Dwayne bought me and him each a Skaha as a gift. All right, bye. I have a tendency to say that I do like the steel, the RWL 34 in these Norsemen about the best. of any steel I've sharpened. It's easy to sharpen. I love, and I forget about RWL 34 until I do Damasteel or a Norseman. Oh shit, I'm already live. Yeah, I told you I was gonna go live. The second I got off the phone with you, I told you I was gonna go out live after I got off the phone with you. Currently out of beer. There's one beer in the house. Well, I'll make the Egyptian switch yet. No, I have not. Not the Egyptian switch. I've held a hand. Well, I think I did at the knife show in the California Custom Show up in Anaheim here a couple months ago when I took you guys on a trip. It does. It gets so sharp. And a lot of it has to do with probably one of the thinnest knives behind the edge I've ever handled has been a Grinsman Norseman. It is ridiculously thin and it gets ridiculously sharp. So, and RWL 34 holds that edge pretty well. By the way, Mike, my list of knives that I will be sending you is growing. I was sharpening those. Okay. Just let me know when you're sending it. This is the thing that's scary. The steel, I just told you. I just said RWL 34. Guess don't pay attention. See, as much as I like the Con, it's not something I would. It's not something I would buy, and I'm sure I'm going to get the Con out of my system because I'm sharpening all y'all's. This is one that you can put an Emler edge on it, and there's a chance that never gotten to see Vanex 37 unless it's got a different name. This is the dangerous part. This is this front edge. Vanex is stealing the new Shiros. I can't honestly say that I have seen any new Shiros. Nitrogen steel, that's probably gonna be, what did you call it? You leave the rust. If you bought an antique straight razor, you leave the rust. It's like an old coin. You leave the patina. I will tell you that. So somebody was asking about if I would do a straight razor. I will sharpen straight razors, but the best bet is if you buy something that's an antique, especially if you're buying it used and stuff like that, your best bet is to leave the patina on it. I can sharpen it and clean it up a little bit, but it's usually not a good idea if there's any worth to it, because sometimes you can come across straight razor that might be worth a little bit, like a really good straight razor, not even know it. I've always liked Bucks 420 and 440. Buck knives do a very good very good job with their steels. So they always have. Buck Knives has always done a very good job with their steels. So but no, I just kind of, I was telling Dwayne this is gonna be one of those nights where I'm pretty sure I can't sleep when we get a lot of stuff done tonight. But so if you guys have knives here at my house, expect to maybe get an invoice in the next day or two. I want to get everything done so that Wednesday I can get as much stuff shipped out as possible. So I think we have repaired that. Charge for razor with 10,000. Great. Razors don't get 10,000. Razors go all the way to 12,000. I start at $20 per straight razor. I'm actually going to raise that to 25 because they take longer. So you're looking at $25 pretty much for a straight razor, unless I have to do repairs. If I have to take out a frown or a chip, you know, that's stuff that I won't know until I get it. And so you can send it to me, and once I put it on a stone, then I'll let you know if it winds up being more than you want to pay. I can stop. I had a guy bring me a straight razor not too long ago. I told him that I would do it. He dropped it off. He was a local guy here. And when I started on it, I realized it was going to be more than the razor was worth. And I told him, I was like, just swing by and pick it up. Not going to charge you anything. And he brought me a 12-pack of beer. He's like, dude, you spent time on it. I was like, I didn't spend enough time on it to charge you. And so, you know, it was pretty cool. But it was a handmade Damascus razor that just had not been. Would you buy this Sharpening 12,000? I have a Sharpening 12,000. No, I'm not getting anything else from Master. I don't have any money to spend on Master. I'm starting a business. Starting a business. I have a daughter that skates. If any of you ever have looked at the prices of what ice skating costs, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So, the thing with Norseman is I really can't take them above. Well, I can take the front edge above 1,000, but the recurve area I really can't take above 1,000. But the nice thing about RWL 34 is it lends itself to being polished at 1,000 grit extremely well. So we'll see what this puppy looks like. Here in a minute when we get past the this front edge on these is a pain. Yeah, Norseman came scary, didn't it? I forgot I did your Norseman for you. Sharpening a Norseman is an exercise in patience. It should be a Zen practice. So let's see what this looks like before stropping. Let's see what happens. So I haven't stropped. I did that edge. But it's still got a little bit of a burr on it. Oh, Dwayne, your Rask is... Dwayne has probably the best looking Rask. Let's put it this way. How to use Saturday reprofiling? I usually don't reprofile on for Saturdays. It's okay, Ed. You didn't have to take it down. I was gonna pick on you. You took all my fun away. I will tell you that the front edge of these, the forward edge of these Norsemen are hard on stones because of the way you have to do it. My goodness, does the end result come out good? So anyway, what I was saying about his Rask is Dwayne's Rask, the way I was carrying it was, the way I was fondling that knife, as gorgeous as it is, I felt like I was cheating on my wife. I felt as though I needed a good confession. No, there was nothing with his Rask. His, God, I wish I had a picture of it. It was gorgeous. It's almost a Trinity knot pattern on it. Oh, it is gorgeous. And I have to say that that is the best looking Rask I've ever seen. And I've seen a few. I've had a few come across my bench. Now I'm just doing touch-ups for the sake of this. Sharpening zero tolerance factory grind of the blade was actually good. I was surprised to see that. Okay, I have no idea what blade shape that is or what it looks like. Mr. Goldfish, hello back. It's a Spanto. Sharpen it just like a regular knife. Is that what they called it? Is that what John called it? The he called it a snowflake? I don't know how many there were. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was fucking gorgeous. Is that a Hinderer design, that ZT? Wait, guys, oh shit. JC, yes, I can. Here's the thing, if you got questions about that, any of the end of the, my contact info is at the bottom in the comments after this, in the description. My phone number and email, yeah, that's what I thought. If you're talking a Spanto with a harpoon, yeah, it's a Hinderer. Sharpen it just like you sharpen every other knife. So, yeah, as far as anodizing, refinishing, things like that, just get in touch with me. I have a phone number and an email at the beginning of almost every video, if not every video. And you can just get a hold of me there. And we can talk about that. Ooh, that's sharp. I talked to John earlier today. I just wanted to make sure that I was telling people correctly. He hasn't answered me back. I mean, I left him a message about... I tell people, I'm probably, if I take your knife apart and anodize it, I am probably voiding your warranty. But with John, it's a little bit different because he's one of those guys that recommends taking your knives apart. Actually, who I talked to was Brian Nadeau. And he said, yeah, if you wreck it, you're going to ruin our warranty. And I was like, I'm pretty good about not wrecking stuff. De-anodizing? Yeah. There's two ways to do it. I can blast it, or I can put it in a solution called Wink's Rust Remover, or I can just soak the shit in multi-etch. Any one of those three will take the ano right off. I recommend the blast and tumble. It looks better. Basically, you just take it to stonewash. Yes, I can remove DLC as well. So for me to refinish a blade like that, like I said, catch me in a thing, but the rough estimate, right about $100 because I would have to sharpen it as well. That's a starting estimate, as long as there's not too much wrong with it. Shouldn't be a problem. But like I said, keep in mind, it's going to void your warranty. Which a lot of you guys don't care about that. I get it. I did have a grill knife, but the thing is, it's currently in my case. I already own it. I have a couple grill knives. This, my spinner, Maker's Choice. But to tell you the truth, this has always been a grill knife for me. But I don't ever have to buy one because I get one in about every 2 or 3 months for sharpening. So I kind of get it out of my system. I can play with it and stuff like that. If I was going to get one though, the one I had one ordered. I had talked to John and had it basically standing by. Was just a... No, that's not gonna work. Good thing I have that other strap. Forgot about that. Forgot that that's always a pain. I've been lucky enough that I own the majority of my... Just the handle scale. To strip off DLC and re-anodize, right about $75-ish. Depends on how hard it is to get the DLC off. DLC is stubborn. So I basically would have to I would have to refinish it, which means I have to disassemble it, strip off the DLC, do the dark purple, and which means I have to prep it, which means that it's all a time-consuming thing. How do you strip off? You blast it. Yeah, you blast it, and then I would have to redo the surface finish to a thing to a way that it would like. Oh, Dwayne. And so if I have to take it apart, and then there's another charge if it is a, I'm glad June said that. June's right. If a blade has a IKBS, uncaptured bearing system, there is an extra charge for that because they're a fucking nightmare. How much to get a 2-color ceramic coat? Same thing. I charge the same amount for ceramic coating and ano and those cool two-tone things. It's the same price. I can't charge more than that. So just basically to refinish a knife is $75. If the refinish requires that I tumble the blade or blast it and you're going to lose your edge, I have to sharpen it. Unless you plan on sharpening a dead edge yourself, then it's $75. And then I add in the price of the sharpening if it requires sharpening. Like if I ceramic coat the blade, you're going to need to resharpen it. Unless you're going to do it yourself, then I add that $25 and makes it $100. So refinish and sharpening is $100. Because, where'd it go, that Grayman? The Grayman I did earlier. The whole edge was gone because I had to blast it, and it's just, when you bead blast this to take the ceramic, so here's a ceramic and ano, a green and black. It's not coming through real well in this light, but it's green and black. Black ceramic with green ano. A lot of times you're going to blast that blade, it's going to require that you sharpen it. And like I said, we can work it so that if you're going to sharpen it yourself, it doesn't cost, but like if I have to tumble it in ceramic rods, it's going to destroy that edge. So my daughter and my wife currently are not fighting. If you watched my earlier live feed, I was not happy with my daughter because my wife and her were fighting about stuff that they didn't need to fight about. But, you know, such is families. With a preteen. Like I said before, that I want to sell to the circus sometimes. Alright, let's see where we're at on this. There was a chip in this that I took. Ooh. Wouldn't be family without drama. Women. Can't live with them. Can't bury them in the yard. Honestly, because my yard's mostly concrete, so it wasn't just a facetious thing. I can bench weight 940s fairly regular. That is a knife that I truly... God damn it. Woo! Now we're going to put her on the forward edge, can get on the diamonds. just to knock any shoulders of angles that I may not have gotten completely. Because you guys do know that a convex is basically, a convex is just a compound edge that then you go, I just go back and I just knock the shoulders off of. And so that's part of what I'm doing here, is any residual marks from all those angles that I used to make up the convex, which is basically what it is. I just knock them all off so that you get one good, consistent, look at that light rolling over. See if I can get a view on it this way. See how that is a rounded convex edge? It does not go, it doesn't go like this. It goes like this. Exactly. My multifacets are really, really, really close together. And then if there's any left during the stropping process, they go away. Any of you guys have ever gotten a knife from me? Reprofiling M390 is not as bad as other things that I've done. I mean, basically all Elliott's knives, M390 is definitely aluminum. Definitely aluminum. Any of their composite scales, the blades are always off center. No, it's more than 3. Who was that asked? So it's like, no, way more than 3. I move that blade constantly throughout the travel, so you've got like a ton of them, and then I just basically go back and clean them up. You really can't see them at the 1000 grit stage. It's a complex angle. So there's probably, I would go and say probably 10 or 15 angles in there. That's where I get an edge from you using a wicked edge. You wonder how hard it would be to sharpen it back. Just use your strops. Use your strops. They're soft. They'll conform. On an edge that's already really convex, like this was, it's going to be like that. It's on my other knives. Like, let's see. Here's this. This is not as strong of a convex. Here, wait, let's turn this. Here, we got enough light in here now. I can do this. Let me give you guys, don't get sick. I'm going to tip you guys down. And there you go. Hey, now you can look up nose. Nothing good. Nothing good comes from that. Let's see here. Let me see if I can get a better view of it for you. So you can see that that was really convexed before. Down here, not so significant. It's still a convex, but not near as significant. No, I don't want to use a concave stone. It's something else I would have to teach myself. Let's see. It's not as significantly... Oh, my blade is dirty. This gets used a lot. Can you tell it gets used a lot? No, the Tonto is not. It's a much thicker angle. You look at it from... See how much thicker that angle is? Then it's significantly thicker here than it is here. I try to maintain the same angle. So what you got is this angle, pretty much the same angle. This just happens to be a lot thicker. That's like what I did on this Grayman. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. This Grayman was really thick blade stock. Focus. This Grayman was really thick blade stock. So what I had to do was I had to account that. So this angle is not really super thin. It's just broad. Then back up. You guys didn't get seasick, did you? Yep. I've sharpened a Spidey Chef, and they're fucking nice. They are, but they're usually, I've sharpened a couple of them, sharpened 3 so far. They're very, very badly ground. All of them are. Every one I've done I had to reprofile, but after reprofiling and finish sharpening, they were ridiculous. Ridiculously sharp. This guy's talking about people sending me Norseman. Same guy that sent me the Norseman sent me this, and I re-anodized it for him. Brian Nadeau, and I did the patinaed copper look, and I even took his steel pocket clip and did it copper, and I matched it to the hardware. Can you see that? Did ceramic coating. These are super slicey. Yes, the Spidey shelf is super slicey. Later. Brian Nadeau, Sharp by Design, Mini Typhoon. But see, I didn't do much ano on that. The only thing I anodized on that Kaiser Guru was the pocket clip. I did ceramic. The rest of it was ceramic. Let's see here. So for folks that tell me that S90V should be harder to reprofile than an S30V and 20CV, this is the one I'm getting ready to do it. I'm not going to probably need to use my diamond plate. You can't really do black ano on. Okay, allow me to and I know that I get people on here that have been on one of my feeds asking me what I think about a knife. You're probably not going to get anything from me because you probably haven't seen it. The knives that I see are the knives that come in. I don't search out new knives. I don't go on websites and look at new knives. This is a Brian Nadeau Mini Typhoon. I can tell you about this, and I can tell you about, there's a couple knives that I have never seen before, but I never really, I don't go out and look up videos about other knives. I don't watch TV. I hang out with you guys. You can see it's 9 o'clock at night here in San Diego, and I'm out here doing this and talking to you guys. So I don't get a lot, and if I do watch YouTube videos, I watch a channel called Ave, A-V-E, capital A, small V, E, capital B. I don't get, what is this? What can I get? What can I use to get a mirror polished edge? Let me use sandpaper. These fuck up the edge I've gotten. I don't use sandpaper. What do I use? A half micron paste on a balsa wood strop. That'll do it if you get it, but you can't just go to like 2000 grit. I watched him take apart. So that guy, AVE, Ave, watched him take apart a probably not much anything. I got a trick for you. I do have a trick for you. And I'm not being a smart ass to do. If you give me just a second, I'll show you on my knife because it needs stropped anyway. A lot of times to get a final, I learned this trick from 2 different people. So I knew the newspaper trick, but the YouTube channel I was just talking about was talking about super fine material for polishing. That shiny that's on there, that is ceramic mud that makes it shiny. And if you take that and wrap it along a block of wood, and you take, where's my knife? It's in my pocket. Now this knife is already, you can do it with receipts too. Receipts the same way. And you take your edge and you strop it on that. Holy crap, that worked well. Holy sh! I watched him lapping a gold plate with like this, and I'm seeing material stick to it. I've done it with newspaper, but never with magazine paper, and it's holy crap. I mean, it was mirror polished before, but geez, oh, oh. Okay, yeah, there you go. That's cat in or out of my tent. One or the other. That's stupid sharp now. Newspaper works really good too. Yes, I am. As a matter of fact, it is right here. That works really well. The electric knife sharpener, my thoughts? If you know how to sharpen a knife, it'll be okay. But here's the thing. You're going to put it in there, and you're going to keep it against the guide, and you're going to pull it through, and if you have a nice knife like this, you can scratch the piss out of the finish on the guides. And then the thing is, as you're going through one direction, the belt is coming against this way. As you go the other direction, it's going the other way. I don't trust it because it's one continuous belt. When I sharpen a knife on a belt at the shop, the belt is going one way. I go like this, and then I go like this. The abrasive is coming down against the knife just like it would be if I was sharpening it by hand. My best thing I can recommend to you is stop buying gimmicks. There is no gimmick to sharpening a knife. What you do is you get some stones, you sit down with some cheap gas station crappy swap meat knives, and you teach yourself how to sharpen a knife. Now, as to this S90B thing, this knife that Brian Maydew made is S90B, and if it was as hard to reprofile as 20CV or S30V, this would be on a diamond stone right now, which is a great big diamond stone that sits over here. It's currently not. This is easier to sharpen than S30V or 20CV or S30V. So you can show me spec sheets and data sheets all you want, but personal experience just stabbed myself in the hand. This thing's pokey. Personal experience. I will take personal experience over data sheets any day of the week. Yeah. Well, it's a variant. That's the Seahawk. What? Okay, I'm doing a live feed. I'll be in a little bit. I'm coming soon. Okay. I want to finish this knife too. I have to go tuck my kid in. So, the other reason I'll tell you that I think it's significantly softer is the amount of material that's coming off onto this stone right now on this 400 grit stone. With 20 CV, you don't see near as much evidence or artifact of this being, of it cutting. I mean, you can see it. You can see it running down the stone. It's doing a significantly better job of cutting this than it does 20 CV. So for those that say that S90V is more wear resistant than 20 CV, I would say you are incorrect, because of my own personal experiences having done it for a while. I do this for a living. So, but I have people argue with me about stuff all the time. They're like, oh, you know what to talk about. I'm pretty sure I do. Pretty sure I do. I do this for a living. This is my job. Really? Okay, William, let me explain something to you. So is the guide on an Edge Pro. And I'll go get my kitchen knives that I did on Edge Pro and show you. It's not the fact that the plastic is there. Where do you think that abrasive that's coming off that belt and all of the steel residue is going to go? It's going to get all over all that stuff. So unless you wipe that down in between passes, you're going to drag it across steel and abrasive that's coming off of the belt, and it's going to get on the plastic, and it's going to change. It's going to scratch it. That's why you have to tape the shit out of an Edge Pro system or tape the shit out of your blade. So I wanted to at least get this to 400 grit. Now, I will tell you something. If you guys start sharpening a knife, it is best, I will get this to 1,000 grit, because then I can I'm almost done. If you start sharpening a knife, it's best to finish it. because if you walk away from it, just like making a knife, grinding it, thing like that, it's, you know, you need to put tape on it. You're not going to get it all off of there. If you walk away from a knife, the likelihood of remembering exactly where the angle was when you started is going to be slim and none. Grinding a knife, for most people that are sharpening, I've gotten to where I can do it. I can just look at it, I can feel it, I can feel when it's on the stone, I can tell by the sound. But at any rate, I have to go tuck my daughter in. You guys, I'll be back probably half hour or so and finish this knife because I'm only at the 400 grit. Yours almost done what? That is all coming off of this. Hey, sorry to run, guys. Got to go take my daughter in. That's what happens when you're a father. Tuck her in. I will log back in and finish this after, though, because I got to finish that. I already got paid. Later.